Why women reject available men. So women, as you probably know, don't like men who are too available. If you don't know that, I'm gonna explain why real quick. So if you're a guy who is always available, then what you're basically telling her is you're telling her that you don't have anything better going on. If you don't have anything better going on than her, then that probably means that she is above you in terms of mate value. She could probably get somebody a lot better. Typically, the guy who she's gonna go for is the guy who is doing much more important things, and she is going to be an addition to his life, but not the main focus. Women say they want you to be their main focus. I think you gotta trust what women do rather than what they say in this category, okay? She doesn't wanna be your main priority. Your main priority should be you, should be your career, and the things that you bring to the table, okay? Because if you don't value those things first, then you're not gonna be bringing anything. A woman knows that if she comes into your life, even if she's super attractive, even if she's super pretty, if she can come in and completely derail your life, then that's not a good match for her, okay? And when I mean derail your life, I mean you put things on hold. Dude, I've had women who I thought they were so hot, I thought they were so cool or whatever it is, maybe we just had that special thing that I'm like, dude, I'm gonna cancel my plans to hang out with this person. I'm gonna stop doing what I'm doing, and I just look forward to going out with them. Every time that has happened to me, I've lost that person. And with the women who I didn't do that with, the women who I barely had time for, the women who I was trying to fit into my schedule, those women stuck around. So what you gotta realize is that as a man, if you're too available, women will not be attracted to you. Women wanna know that you're doing stuff. So does that mean that you act like you're busy all the time and you just basically have no time for anybody? Not exactly. Okay, what you wanna do is you wanna get your priorities straight first. As I said before, your two first priorities should be you, your health, and then on top of that, you should be making time for your friends and your other social things that you do as well too. You shouldn't be compromising all of those things immediately for a woman. What that shows her is that she is too important too quickly. You probably don't date a lot of women like her. You probably have something going on that she doesn't know about that is unappealing, and she could probably do better. So what you wanna do is you wanna make sure that you have those things in priority. I don't care how hot the girl is. I don't care if she is your dream woman. And you're like, I'm just gonna, for those other women, I wasn't gonna do that. But for this woman, she gets the special treatment. She gets an extra bit of me. She gets an extra availability, right? Or maybe you worry that if I'm not super available on those days, I won't get a second chance. You definitely will not get a second chance if you were too available, because then she's gonna see that and she's gonna realize, hey, you know, this guy's fallen over himself to be with me. I'm not really into that. Women don't want a guy who's doing that. Women want a guy who has, like I said, got more important things going on. So the question becomes, how do you become that guy? Let's say you match with a woman on a dating app or something like that, and you're like saying, I'm free this day, this day, this day, this day, okay? That's too much availability. In fact, sometimes I recommend guys put in their bio, say like, I'm usually available on these days, or I'm usually available at this time. Right off the bat, there's a guy who has boundaries and knows what he wants. Okay, women love a guy with boundaries. Boundaries basically means that there are things that you don't put up with, and there are things that that have to be in order for you to. They're rules. They're rules when you get into a relationship with you. Okay, too many rules. It can be unreasonable, but not having any, that's super unattractive. So let's say you are being too available, you're having too many days. Should you say that, oh, I'm only available at this time, and if you can't make it, that's too bad, sweetheart? That would work better than being available every day, but it would still not be the best thing to do, okay? The best thing to do would be to ask her what she's got going on first. Hey, what are you up to this weekend? Doing anything fun? And if she mentions that she's not doing anything on Sunday afternoon, then you say, hey, listen, I got a meeting, midday on Sunday, but in the afternoon I'm free. What are you doing then? And she's just like, I'm not doing anything, all right? And then you make time, you make plans with her then. Now, there will be times where there's a conflict, where she says, oh, sorry, yeah, last minute, a brunch came up with the girls and it went a little too long. Like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to make it now. How should you respond? You say, all right, cool, no worries. And then you don't text her back. First of all, that's a shitty excuse. I've had clients get that with women, and they're like, well, how do I ask her out again? I'm like, no, dog. She got too drunk at brunch, and you think that that's someone you want. Like, if I was an important CEO and you wanted to schedule a meeting with me, and you told me, hey, sorry, I can't make our meeting. I got too drunk at brunch with my friends. Do you think that CEO is giving me a second chance at a meeting? Absolutely not. This isn't exactly a business meeting, but you should treat your time as your most valuable resource because it is. Treat your time as your most valuable resource, and women who waste it have no place in your life. I don't care how hot they are. I don't care if their pussy's made of gold. I don't care if they're literally like, the daughter of a celebrity or whatever. If you compromise this, then what's going to happen is these women are not going to be into you, and you're going to lose them anyway. You're going to be right back to where you were before, and on top of that, you look stupid. So, what I'm not saying to do is I'm not saying to completely be super rigid and be like, hey, we have to meet at this time, and if we can't meet at that time, then you're done. Dude, there's gonna be some compromise. Like if she couldn't make it after that, she apologizes. She says, I'm super sorry. I really, can we do this date instead? She's really making an effort. Then you can decide if you want to go out with her again. Me personally, if she's being that apologetic, I would give her a second chance. Apologizing and coming forward, that's a big deal. But if she doesn't do any of those things and you're asking her out again, do you think a woman is ever going to respect you after you do that? Probably not. Having boundaries is super important. One of the biggest boundaries to have is your time. Do not get with women who waste your time. So 2 strikes and you're out. That's the biggest rule. And then the other rule that you have as well too is I don't make plans and give them a bunch of different options. I try and figure out kind of what their schedule is first, so I know how I can fit my schedule in there, and then I give them an option that I'm quite sure is going to be a time that she's available. And if she's still being difficult after that, it's usually not worth going after this person. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, Lloyd, if I do this, I'm not going to have any dates. If you don't have any dates after you do this, which by the way, this shouldn't, you will find that the dates will work out way better if you do this correctly. But if you won't get any dates, if you don't do this, if you don't compromise yourself, if you don't make yourself super available for these women, then what's happening is that you don't have an appealing enough profile, you don't have an appealing enough demeanor, you don't have an appealing enough essence to bring women in. You're not attractive enough to women, okay? In whatever medium you're using to do, or you're not getting out enough, you're not talking to enough women, okay? One of those things is the problem. And so that should be your number one focus, not trying to make things work out with this difficult person who you have to be super available for in order to go out on a date. Because I guarantee you, that has a one-way trip to Rejection City, and she's the mayor. So good luck out there, you guys. If you want to know how to get more dates with women that are actually going to like you, then that's something that I work with guys on a regular basis. I can't help everybody though. But if you want to see if I can help you, then I'd schedule a call with me down here. You can apply to book. You can schedule a call with a member of me or my team. I'll talk to you later, guys.